uniforms today. Kansas City in blue script across the front. And Cole Hamels goes through his windup, and here is the lineup that he will face. Alcides Escobar at shortstop will lead off. Batting second, Cheslor Cuthbert, the third baseman. Eric Hosmer will play first base, and he will bat third. The cleanup batter is Kendrys Morales. He's the designated hitter. Paulo Orlando will be the center fielder. He bats fifth. Alex Gordon, hitting sixth, will be in left. Brett Eibner, the right fielder, hitting seventh. Batting eighth is Drew Butera. He's the catcher. And Raul Mondesi Jr. is the second baseman. He bats ninth. Escobar, Cuthbert, and Hosmer, Morales, Orlando, and Gordon. Eibner, Butera, and Mondesi. That's the starting nine for Ned Yost. For Jeff Bannister, it's Delano DeShields in left field, Nomar Mazara in right field, Ian Desmond in center field. Batting fourth, Adrian Beltre, the third baseman. Rougned Odor will hit fifth, and he'll play second. Joey Gallo, the DH, is batting sixth. Elvis Andrews hitting seventh at shortstop. Mitch Moreland will play first and bat eighth. Robinson Chirinos to catch and hit ninth. Jerry Meals calls the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief. Ron Copa at first, Chris Conroy at second, Pat Holberg at third. For the Royals, Mike Jershely coaches at third base, and the coach at first is Rusty Kuntz. Rangers took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City last week, and the Royals won the opening game of that series by the score of 3-1 as Danny Duffy outpitched Yu Darvish. Then the Rangers won behind Hamels 7-4 over Ventura. And on Sunday, Alex Claudio picked up a win in relief on a Delano DeShields 7th-inning home run off Luke Hochevar, 2-1. Hochevar going on the disabled list today. So Hamels ready to go against Escobar, the right-handed hitter who has started every game for the Royals, all 101 games. And the first pitch is ripped at and missed, a low fastball. Royals are a first-ball, fastball hitting team. They don't walk much. In fact, they're dead last in the league in walks. Escobar, a .258 hitter, 1 homer, and 25 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. It swung on and fouled back, and the count is 0-2. Escobar, Cuthbert, and Hosmer, 2 righties and a lefty. Hosmer and Gordon are the 2 lefties in the lineup for Kansas City. Lefties hitting just 178 off Hamels this year. Righties hitting .250. 0-2 the count as Colbert Michael Hamels swings back to the windup. He lets it fly, and the pitch is a call, strike 3. Fastball well placed over the inside corner. And there's 1 out to start the ball game. 83 degrees is your official game time temperature. Brought to you by TXU Energy, 3 nights. 1-866. Call TXU. Cuthbert, the hitter, batting .295, 9 homers and 33 runs batted in. That's 9 home runs and 251 at-bats for the rookie from Nicaragua, who has gotten himself into the Rookie of the Year conversation. And the pitch is high for ball 1. Back to the plate comes Hamels, and the pitch is fouled off to the right and out of play. In case you haven't been following the world champions closely, Mike Moustakas suffered a hand injury in early May and has not been back. And Cuthbert has been doing the job as his replacement. Cuthbert had a hitting streak of 11 games that ended against the Rangers over the weekend, actually extended it to 12 and then lost it Sunday. And the count 1-2 as he fouls one off to the right side. Eric Hosmer, the on-deck batter. The Royals have been going badly, and last night before the game, Ned Yost called a team meeting. It lasted just a couple of minutes. He said the message was to relax, play the game, don't worry about all the trade rumors. Here's the 1-2, and that's popped foul off to the right and out of play again. The Royals, according to many of the so-called pundits, are going to be in seller mode going into the deadline. Last year, of course, they were very aggressive buyers, trading for Ben Zobrist and Johnny Cueto. But right now, they're 2 games under 500. And they are 8th in the wild card race. 1-2 the count, and the pitch a little bit low. They're 4th in the division, 8.5 behind Cleveland. They're 8th in the wild card hunt. 6.5 games behind the Red Sox, who hold the number 2 wild card today. Toronto has the first wild card, a half a game ahead of Boston. And this one rolled foul off to the left side. The trading deadline, of course, will be 4 o'clock Central Time on Monday, August the 1st. 1 day later than usual because the 31st falls on a Sunday. Here's the 2-2 from Hamels. A line shot down the left field line. This is trouble going all the way to the corner. The Shield's able to cut it off on the warning track. The ball rolling very slowly as clearly it is still very wet out there. And Cuthbert in at second base with a line drive double. 1 out here in the first inning. And Hosmer coming up, hitting .286, 13 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Keep in mind we have a fairly strong south wind right now, officially 10 miles an hour, blowing in from right. It could very well create a jet stream blowing back out toward right field tonight. We have almost a total overcast right now. Lights are on here. And again, we started this ball game just over a half hour late due to rain. Runner at second base, 1 out. Hosmer takes outside for ball 1. Hosmer, a .286 hitter, 13 homers and 54 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 against Hamels on Sunday. That was only the second time Cole had faced the Royals in his career. A 1-0 count, and here's the pitch. And the breaking ball misses. As Hamels went to the curveball that he used so liberally on Sunday. He threw 26 curveballs in that game, according to Brooks Baseball. Hamels, another thing to keep in mind, has been much better this year on the road than he has at home, dramatically better away from here. Turn toward second and no throw. In 9 starts here, he's 3-1 with a .450 ERA. On the road, he's 8-1 with a .170 ERA. 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Huge rip there on a cutter on the inside corner. 2-1. Hamels throws the fastball and the cutter, the curve and the change. Kendrys Morales, a switch hitter, is waiting on deck. A runner at second, 1 out for Kansas City. On Monday and Wednesday against the Oakland A's, the Rangers fell behind in the first inning. Oakland got 2 runs in the first in both those games. There's a breaking ball outside, and the count is 3-1. Today, the Rangers will either gain a half a game or lose a half a game in the standings in relation to the Astros, as they have a day off. The Rangers and Astros will play each other starting next Friday in Houston. First, the Rangers go to Baltimore for 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. 3-1. Here comes the pitch, and a dribbler hit foul up the first baseline. And the count is 3-2. Hamels has climbed all the way up to second in the league in ERA behind Aaron Sanchez of Toronto. Sanchez at .272, Hamels at .287. In recent weeks, he has passed Marco Estrada and Danny Salazar and Stephen Wright. Cole back to the plate, 3-2, and Hosmer fouls one away off to the left side and out of play. The teams had different batting practice experiences today. The Rangers hit on the field, and it started raining almost immediately after the Rangers came off the field around 5 o'clock. So the Royals hit in the indoor cages. And that's not unusual for them. It's something they did regularly during the summer last year on their way to a world championship. 3-2 pitch, struck him out looking. I don't know what Hosmer was looking for, but he took a fastball at 95 right down the middle. So strikeout looking double, strikeout looking for Hamels. And here's Kendrys Morales in a scoreless top of the first inning. The game brought to you by Globe Life, official life insurance of the Texas Rangers. Everyone has beneficiaries. Not everyone has life insurance. Find out more at globelifepark.com. Globe Life, who's your beneficiary? And Morales, 3 for 6 on Hamels with a home run. A switch hitter from Cuba, batting .249, 16 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Not having quite the year he had last year. And the pitch to him is inside. Got off to a dreadful start this year. Over the first 47 games, Kendrys Morales was only a .187 hitter with just 5 homers. Then he got hot for a while, and now he's kind of cooled off again. A 1-ball count. Hamels checks second and deals, and there's a curve in for a strike. Nice backdoor hook. It's a ball and a strike on Morales. Speaking of those Astros, they go on the road tomorrow and face the Detroit Tigers in Motown. Colin McHugh and Matt Boyd, the scheduled starters tomorrow at Comerica. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2. Good hard cutter down under the hands of Morales. And Hamels gets ahead at 1-2, trying to post a 0 here in the top of the first inning, despite a Cuthbert 1-out double. Right-handed batter Paulo Orlando on deck. Morales hitting right-handed, and that's been his better side. He's a 300 hitter right-handed. 1-2. The pitch. And a dribbler hit on the third base side. Beltre charges. Morales is really slow, and the throw in plenty of time to get him as Hamels gets out of the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left after a half inning.
Ephesus LED, the MVP for any stadium, arena, or sports field. To learn more, visit EphesusLighting.com.
Mass, save responsibly.
Yordano Ventura in Kansas City on Saturday had a perfect game through 3 innings. Then the Rangers got to him for 2 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Walks were a big factor there, and we'll see how patient the Rangers will be tonight. DeShields leads off hitting .220, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, and the pitch is a strike. Profar, who has been the leadoff batter for the Rangers most of the time lately against righties, is not in the lineup tonight. DeShields is 3 for 5 with a walk-off Ventura in his career, and the pitch is outside. Ventura is a very hard thrower, upper 90s, but again at times with command problems. Throws a curve in the mid-80s and a changeup. In his major league debut, he threw a pitch 101.9 miles an hour. DeShields swings, lines one to right. Coming on is Eibner. He leans and makes the catch. DeShields hit that ball too hard to fall. It stayed up. Eibner made the grab. There's one away, and Mazzara coming up. It's Eibner in right field, Orlando in center, and Gordon in left. Cuthbert at third, Escobar at short, Mondesi at second, and Hosmer at first, with Butera catching Ventura. Ventura in half sleeves tonight, the blue sleeves coming down around the elbows, out from underneath the gray jersey. He's a lean right-hander, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. He finishes his pitches with a flourish up on 1 foot, and fires a fastball at 95 to Mazzara for a strike. Mazzara had a home run and a double off him in Kansas City. Batting .282 at 12 homers, 40 RBIs, and he fouls 1 back. And the count is 0-2. That home run by Mazzara off Ventura, his 12th of the year, the most by a Rangers rookie since 2008, when David Murphy had 15 and Chris Davis had 17. Murphy will be part of the program tomorrow at the Arlington Convention Center, honoring Michael Young for his induction into the Rangers Hall of Fame this week. The pitch cut on and missed, breaking ball, and that was an ugly swing by Mazzara. There are 2 outs. There's no score. The game brought to you by the United Association of Union Plumbers, Fitters, Welders, and Service Technicians, providing a skilled workforce in the pipe trades, and through the Veterans in Piping program, helping our returning heroes find rewarding careers. Desmond is next, hitting .308. 20 homers, 62 runs batted in. He's 7th in the league in batting, 7th in runs, and 4th in hits. And here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Ventura working quickly. Comes right back, and the pitch is inside for a ball. DeShields lined out hard to right. Mazzara struck out. Beltre is on deck. Ventura, a guy the Royals signed when he was just 17 years old and weighed 140 pounds. And the pitch is inside to him. When he first came to the big leagues late in the 2013 season, it was in a September call-up, and he threw 6 pitches over 100 miles an hour in that game. 2-1, and the pitch misses as Desmond was backing away at the plate. I'm not sure whether that pitch counted or not. I did not see the umpire call time. Ventura went through with the pitch. The scoreboard has not registered the pitch. The scoreboard is still showing 2-1. And the catcher, Butera, goes out to the mound to talk to Ventura. Ventura wears the number 30. Works off the third base side of the rubber. You can see his uniform rustling in the strong wind tonight. And the pitch is cut on and missed by Ian Desmond. So, let's say it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, presuming that the previous pitch did not count. Ventura back to work, and the pitch is outside, and that makes it 3-2. Tomorrow, AJ Griffin will go for the Rangers tomorrow, and Edinson Volquez will be going for the Kansas City Royals. That's a rematch of a game that they pitched against one another in Kansas City on Sunday. The Rangers won in a battle of bullpens. Pitch to Desmond is outside. So Ian gets aboard here with 2 outs in the first inning. And before Beltre bats, let's pause for station identification on the Rangers radio network.
This is the home of the Texas Rangers.
Hit in the air to left center field, hit well. He's still going back, and that ball is history.
On the Texas Rangers radio network.
Here's Adrian hitting .282, 16 homers and a club high 64 runs batted in. 429 career home runs now for Beltre. And the pitch is a strike over the inside corner. Cal Ripken next on the all-time home run list with 431. Brugnet Odor on deck. Righties and lefties hitting just about the same this year against Yordano Ventura. He has had a problem with walks. And here's the pitch to Beltre. It is inside. In fact, his walk rate of 3.8 per 9 innings is the 3rd highest in the league. Cole Hamels' walk rate is not that much different. He is at a career high 3.6 walks per 9 innings. Hamels also, though, is 8th in the league in strikeouts and 2nd in ERA. So clearly it's not affecting him very much adversely. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is low for a ball. 2-1. And Beltre 6 for 11 in the Oakland series. A couple of homers and 4 runs batted in. Remember, he carried this team over the second half of the season last year. 2-1. And the pitch to Beltre, swung on, lifted foul, off to the right and out of play. Over the last 5 games, Beltre is 10 for 20, and he's actually reached base 12 times in 22 plate appearances. He bats with a runner at first, 2 outs in the first inning, and no score here in Arlington. A lob over to first. Desmond is back. Ventura, tough to run on. And again, generally has Salvador Perez working with him behind the plate. But it's Butera tonight. Perez scratched with flu-like symptoms. Desmond is the stolen base leader on the club. Beltre, a foul off to the right. That one bounces into the Rangers dugout. Bounced in softly. Last night, Ian Desmond hit a screamer into the dugout that actually hit batting coach Anthony Iapoce. Hit him right in the gut, he said. He said he was on his way down the steps to check out who was warming in the bullpen for Oakland, wasn't really looking. And then everybody saw him go down the steps and thought that he was really hurt, but he wasn't. He was going where he was going to begin with. 2-2 pitch inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It was Mark Zepchinski who was up in the bullpen who Iapoce was checking on. He said actually the ball caromed first off one of the bat boys and then hit him right in the gut. 3-2 the count on Beltre, so Desmond will be running with 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Grounded foul off to the left. He said Beltre, very concerned, came down the steps and said, "Where did it hit you?" And Iapoce said, it hit me in the abs. And Beltre said, "You don't have any abs." That's some baseball humor for him. Ventura got hit in the ribcage last week by a batted ball and left the game after 5 innings. 3-2 payoff pitch and a chopper past the mound out to second base. Mondesi with it over to first to retire Beltre and the Rangers. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We're going to the second inning. Kansas City nothing in Texas. That day was Raul Mondesi Sr. Beltre was a teammate of his for 2 years in L.A. First up, Orlando here in the second. Swings on the first pitch and belts one to deep left, way back and gone over the 14-foot high wall. Paulo Orlando with only his 2nd home run of the season. A tremendous shot, almost to the back of the seats behind the out-of-town scoreboard. And the Royals draw first blood on a prodigious home run by Orlando. It's the 17th given up by Cole Hamels this year. And the Royals are on the board. Here's Alex Gordon hitting .209 with 7 homers, 16 runs batted in.
Looked like that may have been a cutter from Cole that was up right around the inside corner of the plate, but Orlando able to get all of it. I think that hit the very back wall there behind the seats above the scoreboard.
It was a roller foul up the first baseline. Orlando, by the way, is batting in the spot that Salvador Perez would have occupied. Orlando hit 7 home runs last year in about 250 at-bats. This year in 250 at-bats, he now has 2. 0-1 the count on the lefty Gordon. And the pitch from Hamels is inside for a ball. It is 1-1. Well, that's something you certainly don't expect. We talked about how the Royals are a first ball, fastball hitting team, but in the case of Orlando, he's not the kind of guy you expect will hurt you with a homer or even an extra base hit. Almost all of his hits are singles. And the pitch is outside, 2-1. So it's Gordon now, then Eibner and Butera for the Royals. And the 2-1 offering. Line drive, center field. Desmond got a late start, comes on, dives. Did he catch it? He did. We finally get a sign from Chris Conroy, the second base umpire, that Desmond caught that ball rather than trapped that ball. And Alex Gordon is a hard out for the first out of the second inning. Second inning brought to you by Senior Care Centers. Great performance and great prices are what Cooper Tires are known for. Learn more at coopertire.com. That was a great performance by Desmond. As we see it again, he got that blue glove underneath the ball just before it hit the grass in center. Now Eibner, who's in an 0 for 18 slump, right-handed batter, hitting .230. 3 homers, 10 RBIs out of the University of Arkansas. And he takes a big rip and a miss. Second round pick back in 2010. This is a guy very prone to strikeout. 22 strikeouts in 74 at-bats this year. Hamels unwinds and the pitch is fouled back, and we'll check in with Jared.
Eric, your hometown team growing up, the New York Mets, have lost back-to-back games. Juris Familia has blown both saves. This all after he converted 52 straight saves successfully. He blew another save again today against the Rockies. They fell 2-1.
0-2, and there's a swing and a foul at the plate. And the Mets in that National League East began the day 5.5 out of Washington, behind Washington and in third place. And in the wild card hunt, a game and a half behind Miami, the club that occupies second in that division and holds the second wild card. The pitch to Eibner is lined foul past third base. And the count is 0-2. So 1 run, 2 hits for Kansas City. Nothing across for the Rangers here as we play in the top half of the second inning. Now we mentioned that the game in which Adrian Beltre debuted and Raul Mondesi was the Dodgers actually played center field. Paul Konerko was the left fielder for the Dodgers that day. And Beltre batted 8th, right ahead of the pitcher. There's a pitch outside, 1-2. Adrian went 2 for 5 with a run batted in.
He was probably still scrawny back then. You can't say that about him now. But.
Well, who else was on that team? Eric Young at second base, Juan Castro at short. Gary Sheffield played right, and Eric Karras was the first baseman. He cut and a miss. Down goes Eibner on a changeup. Third strikeout for Hamels, and Drew Butera is coming up next. Charles Johnson was the catcher for the Dodgers in that game. Chuck Finley started the game for the Angels. Greg Cadaret wound up as the losing pitcher for them. Darren Dreifert started for the Dodgers. Antonio Osuna was the winner, the uncle of the Toronto closer right now, Roberto Osuna. Here's the pitch in there for a strike to Butera. So you can really see the generational change in Adrian Beltre spanning the generations. 0-1. There's a swing and a hot pop-up behind the plate, foul. The strong south wind will easily blow this one back out of play. So how many degrees of separation do you need with Adrian Beltre to really get to some baseball immortality. Probably not many.
Probably less than 6.
Yeah, I imagine that's true. Trying to figure out who was the oldest player playing in that game. 0-2 the count, and here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. The Angels had Darren Erstad, Dave Hollins, Jim Edmonds, Cecil Fielder. How about that? Garrett Anderson. Matt Walbeck was the catcher. He became a Rangers coach. Kerry DiSarcina played shortstop, now a coach for them. 0-2 delivery, check swing in the dirt. He went around, strike 3. Gets him on a curve. So after the home run, Hamels retires 3 in a row. And in the middle of the second, it's 1-0 Royals on the Texas Rangers radio network.
And we're back. Caller.
A right-handed fireballer lets it fly, and he starts him off with a curve for a strike at 79 miles an hour. Rookie hitting .277, 18 homers, 51 runs batted in. 0-for-3 against Ventura. And he swings and belts one deep right center field. This will tie the game as that ball is history. A line smash off the facade of the upper porch above the Rangers bullpen. A tremendous count by Odor, and it's 1-1.
You know, usually a home run goes up into the air and it comes down somewhere into the seats. I'm not sure there was ever a coming down part to that line drive. He hit that ball so hard that it looked like it was just beginning to level out as it got about 3 rows up into the upper porch. That is a bomb.
Need an 0-1 fastball. And we have our First Financial Bank first run. First Financial Bank putting you first. It's number 19 for Rookie, RBI 52. Now Gallo takes ball 1. And Ventura stays away from him, and that is ball 2.
And that fastball was up. That pitch may have been above the strike zone to Rugi.
2-0, and the pitch is a strike at the knees to Gallo. Gallo faced Ventura a couple of times last year, went 1 for 2 off him. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Joey. And here's the pitch, a swing and a dribbler foul off to the right as Ventura fed him another curveball. Gallo 1 for 5 since coming up. 1 for 4 as a starter, 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. He's 1 for 6 for the season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. A swing and a foul off to the left and out of play. Remember, tomorrow we have post-game fireworks brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Rangers and Royals at 7:05. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Ventura, hand in the glove, waist high, brings the hands belly high, comes to the plate, and he struck him out on an off-speed pitch as Gallo took it for strike 3. 1 away. Next up is Elvis Andrus. Andrus hitting .293, 4 homers and 45 runs batted in. Home run by Rougned Odor, a line smash. Having trouble with our StatCast app tonight, or we would give you the exit velocity on that. Maybe somebody else has it in here. Pitch is low. My phone is definitely not participating.
Exit velocity was about 270 miles an hour.
You know, I believe that. And there's a check swing, and Elvis did not go around. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Launch angle about 6 degrees. That was a linea.
Let's try it again. Not updating. 2-0. And here's the pitch. Bouncing ball over third. It is foul. And down the left field line, the count is 2-1. Well, the Astros aren't playing, but there is a lot of baseball going on elsewhere. Looks like the whole internet's out on my side of the booth.
Yeah, it's out on this side as well.
Right. The pitch to Elvis is rolled out to shortstop. Escobar over to first in time, and there are 2 outs. I'm blaming the Royals. There's something nefarious going on here. You know, they're world champions. They get to control a lot of stuff.
You know, I don't want to be a harbinger of bad news, because we had rain here earlier today. But looking up above, we're looking at some pretty malevolent skies right now.
We are. We're wasting no time getting those things in. We might get rained on.
Well, if we don't have any internet, we might as well.
Rain Aware says that we won't have a rain delay, at least not in the next 3 hours. Rain Aware says we'll be dry, at least till very, very early tomorrow morning. The pitch is a strike to Morland. Mitch hitting .232, 14 homers, 40 RBIs. Ball game tied at 1. Each team with a solo homer. And the pitch is inside. The Rangers now have homered 131 times and given up 134. Kansas City is deep in the red on home runs. They've hit 86 and given up 134. Now Moreland swings and sends one out to left center, but well within the reach of Orlando, who scoots to his right and takes care of it to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, the leadoff homer by Odor, and after 2 innings, it's a 1-1 tie on the Rangers radio network.
No one likes to think about getting injured, but isn't it nice to know that help is always right around the corner? At
Tennessee leading it off here in the third for the Royals, and he looks at a curveball from Cole Hamels for strike 1. So 9-1-2 in the order due up here for KC. It's a 1-1 ball game. We had canceling solo home runs in the second inning. The 0-1 bounced back up the middle past second and into center field. Mondesi with a base hit, his first time up here tonight. This is just his third big league game in the regular season, as he got called up a couple of days ago. And he got his first 2 big league hits yesterday. He had a bunt, single, and an infield hit. And on the bunt hit, that caused quite a bit of consternation in the 7th inning of yesterday's ball game. So much so that Angels manager Mike Scioscia eventually lodged a protest. So that game that the Royals won yesterday was played from the 7th inning on, from that point under protest. Royals won that game. They salvaged the final game in the series, 7-5. And now Mondesi takes off. Here's a throw to first, throw to second. In and out of the glove of Elvis. It squirts into shallow center. Rugi up with it, a throw to third. Mondesi is out at third. So before a pitch is even made to Alcides Escobar, Mondesi, who's got great speed, took off for second base. Hamels threw to first. Mitch's throw down to second, in and out of the glove of Elvis. But even if Elvis made the catch, I think Mondesi would have been safe. But the ball got away from him. It slipped past Rugi. Rugi had to race into shallow center to get it. And Mondesi tried to make it to third, and Rugi throws him out.
Well, Mondesi does get credit for a steal, and then he's out 4 or 5.
That's his first big league steal, but the bases are clear with 1 out. A pitch now to Escobar, and that pitch is outside, ball 1.
And I want to tell you who made an incredible play, Adrian Beltre, catching that throw between the legs of Mondesi. I don't know how it didn't hit him.
Next offering to Escobar is outside, make it 2 balls and no strikes.
So the Beltre-Mondesi connections continue tonight.
And you know that's got to be a little odd there for Adrian. A swing and a miss here by Escobar, and the count 2-1, because I'm sure that back in the day, talking about Adrian's first big league game, but back in that era, he would have seen little Raul in the clubhouse as a tot, and now here he is tagging him out as he dives into third. Escobar fouls one away on the first base side, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the young Mondesi was born in 95, so he would have been 3 years old when Beltre came to the big leagues.
And Mondesi, by the way, he turned 21 just yesterday. 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Escobar can't get a hold of that cut fastball and strikes out for a second time. That's the second out here in the top of the third of this 1-1 affair, and Cheslor Cuthbert comes up. The interesting thing, Mondesi turning 21 yesterday, and he gets his first 2 big league hits. He became the first Royal to get his first big league hit on his birthday, and the first player to get a hit on his birthday in any fashion since Kenny Vargas did it with the Twins 2 seasons ago. So the bases are clear with 2 men out here for Cuthbert. Cuthbert pulled a double into the left field corner in the first, and he looks at a curveball here for strike 1. And as he did in his most recent outing, once again, Cole Hamels here throwing quite a few curveballs early on. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and that one sails in high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned that Mondesi tonight is playing in his 3rd regular season big league game because he had the distinction of breaking into the big leagues in the World Series last year. Here's a swing and a miss. Cuthbert chasing one of those curveballs in the count 1-2. Mondesi made a pinch hitting appearance in Game 3 of the World Series last year against the Mets, pinch hitting for the pitcher in that ball game and striking out, thus becoming the first player ever to make his major league debut in a World Series. Hamels with the 1-2. Swing and a miss. That pitch in the dirt. It bounces away from Chirinos. Robinson picks it up in foul ground. Long throw to Mitch, but in time to get Cuthbert for the final out in the inning. And somewhat of an odd inning there. No runs, a hit, nobody left. We've played 2.5. Royals have 1, Rangers have 1 on the Texas Rangers radio. Well, Robinson Chirinos, who just got an assist on that final out in the top half of the inning, leading it off for Texas in the home third. And he takes a pitch here from Ventura for strike 1. Chirinos and then DeShields and Mazzara. Robinson batting .200 on the dot. 8 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Here comes Ventura with the next pitch. And he just misses a little bit inside there to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Chirinos, we've talked about it before, 8 home runs this year. Time called here, he steps out. He's got more home runs than singles. 8 home runs, 7 singles for Chirinos. Here's a fastball swing and a miss. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robinson got the start in the Tuesday game against Oakland, went 1 for 3 with a double. Also came into Monday's game late as a defensive replacement. Ventura slowly into his wind and the 1-2. And that ball hit hard up the middle, base hit past Escobar out into left center field. Well, now singles are even with home runs on the Robinson-Chirinos ledger. And that is the 2nd hit for Texas tonight. It brings up Delino DeShields. The strikeout of Chesler Cuthbert in the top half of the 3rd. Tonight's Geico 15th out of the ballgame, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. That strikeout of Cuthbert, already the 6th strikeout for Cole Hamels here tonight. So Chirinos on board for DeShields. And Delino looks at a pitch on the outside edge for strike 1. Delino hit a ball very hard in the 1st inning. A line shot, but right to Eibner in right field. Eibner was more shallow in the 1st inning than he is now. He's deep and straight away here for Delino. The 0-1 pitch comes in low. Delino, for a moment there, looked like he might bunt. He pulled Cuthbert down the line. And the count evens here to 1 ball and a strike. DeShields giving a look down to third base coach Spike Owen. We're getting some spectacular color in the sky right now on what has been a very eventful weather day once again here in Arlington. Throw over to first, and Chirinos back to the bag in time. It's bordering on red sky at night, which of course everyone knows is sailor's delight. There goes Chirinos, swing and a miss, throw down to second base, and Robinson is out. Escobar, the shortstop, was waiting for him. A very good throw there by Drew Butera. And so Chirinos chopped down here for the first out in the bottom of the 3rd. The count to DeShields, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's a broken hit and run. And Delino's got to make contact with that pitch. It was low, but somehow you got to get the bat on the ball.
So Delino now behind in the count at 1-2 with Mazzara waiting on deck. Ventura kicks and fires. Swinging a ground ball foul on the third base side. Still saying red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in morning, sailor take warning, I think is how it goes.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're somewhere close by and you're on a boat and you can see the sky, I guess everything's okay. The 1-2. Swing and a ball floated past the mound. A one-hopper that's charged by Mondesi. And he's got it. Makes the short toss to get DeShields for the second out in the inning. 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. 3rd inning brought to you by the United Association of Union Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and Service Technicians. It's a 1-1 game. Paulo Orlando homered in the top half of the 2nd, and then Rougned Odor hit one out in the bottom of the 2nd. Both home runs leading off the inning. And now here's Mazzara, who struck out on 3 pitches in the first. That stunted windup by Ventura, and he throws this off-speed pitch low and into Mazzara for ball 1. As we look up to see a blend of maybe yellow and orange and red, that's all out beyond the wall and left as Mazzara swings and misses. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. As we look to the south and to the southwest, it's all pretty dark. But as we look toward the east, a very artistic sky, almost like a painting. Here Mazzara fouls one off twice. He hits it down to the ground. It comes back up, hits his bat again, and then rolls out to Mondesi at second. A ball and 2 strikes here to Mazzara. Two out, nobody on. And Ventura ready with the 1-2. Here it comes. Swinging a ball lifted into the air, left field. Gordon to his right toward the line. He's there, reaches up, makes the one-hand grab to get Mazzara for the final out. Rangers get a hit, but no one left here as we move to the 4th, tied at 1 on the Texas Rangers. Top half of the 4th here at Globe Life Park. Rangers and Royals tied at 1. Eric Hosmer leading it off for Kansas City, and he looks at this pitch from Cole Hamels that misses, and I'm not too sure where. Looked pretty good up here, but it's ball 1. Hosmer was called out on strikes in the first. Hamels right back into the wind with the 1-0. And a swing and a foul ball shot up toward the third deck, upper deck on the third base side. And the count to Hosmer now 1 ball and 1 strike. Hosmer, Morales, Orlando. This is 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order here for Kansas City. The 1-1. The ball chopped foul up the first base line. Make it a ball and 2 strikes. Now the wind has been a factor certainly here tonight, and seems like it's becoming even stronger coming directly out of the south. And that color in the sky that we were talking about now is starting to get blotted out. And as we again look to the east, the 1-2 pitch is pulled foul again first base side. Right in front of first base coach Rusty Kuntz. Keep it at a ball and 2 strikes here to Hosmer. Hosmer coming in batting .286. 13 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Rangers play him to pull slightly in the infield. As Hamels kicks and deals the 1-2, swing and a miss on a breaking pitch down in the dirt. And Chirinos quickly scrambles to pick it up and tag Hosmer out. So Hosmer strikes out for a second time. That's 7 punch-outs now for Cole Hamels. 1 away here on the top of the 4th. Kendrys Morales coming up. Let's check in once again with Jared.
The sometimes bombastic starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, Chris Sale, is back from his team-issued suspension, and his White Sox are currently trailing the Cubs 2-1. That game's in the top of the 6th inning, but he just singled on a ground ball. They got through the middle, so we'll see if he can score against John Lackey. First offering to Morales is in there for a strike.
Just a single? He's no Anthony Renato.
He sure isn't. I was going to say. Renato homered yesterday, pitching for the White Sox against the Cubs, the former Ranger. I don't remember if Anthony batted with us. Seems like he did, though. This pitch is low and in on the count to Morales. 1 ball and 1 strike.
In LA
That's right. He pitched one of those 2 games against the Dodgers out in L.A. In fact, did he pitch the game that we lost 1-0, the balk-off game, maybe? This offering is outside, and the count to Morales goes to 2-1. The Rangers last year played the Dodgers 4 straight, played them 2 games here Monday and Tuesday, won both, went out to L.A., won the Wednesday game, and then lost that Thursday game. As Morales bounces this one foul, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It seems to me like Renato's got at least a little bit of a history of hitting the ball well. Hamels into the wind and the 2-2. And that ball lifted into right field. Mazzara has to go back into his left, still on the move, reaches out and makes a running catch a few steps before getting to the warning track. So Morales Slices one toward the right field corner for the second out here in the fourth. And it brings up Paulo Orlando. Hey, you don't have to travel to a galaxy far, far away to enjoy Star Wars Weekend presented by Takis here at Globe Life Park. You can head out to the park August the 26th through the 28th for Star Wars giveaways and a post-game fireworks show when the Rangers play host to the Cleveland Indians. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com, and may the force be with you. It's a swing and a miss by Orlando for strike one.
Well, here's the answer to your question, Matt. Renata went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts at Dodger Stadium last year on June 18th. You were just learning.
Mm-hmm. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count here to Orlando, who got a hold of a first pitch from Cole Hamels in the second and hit it all the way to the wall up above the seats out in left. The seats right above the out-of-town scoreboard. This is the first time this season that Orlando's hit fifth in the order, and again, that was a late decision because of Salvador Perez being scratched. This pitch comes in high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Orlando was originally in the lineup in the number 7 spot. And most of the time this year, Orlando has hit either 6th or 7th. He's started a total of 50 times in one of those 2 positions. Here's a breaking ball, swing and a miss. Orlando strikes out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cole Hamels, who has punched out 8 through 4. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still 1-1 on the Texas. Ball 1. Desmond, Beltre, and Odor here in the 4th inning against Yordano, Ventura. Ian drew a walk in the first. Hits this ball sharply, but on 2 short hops, it's stabbed on the backhand side by Escobar, and he wings it over to first in time to retire Desmond. Slick fielding shortstop Alcides Escobar making a nifty play there. That was a smash and a skimmer, rolled into one, and just a big league pick there on the backhand side by Escobar. So 1 away, and here's Adrian. Beltre 0 for 1. He grounded out. Rather easy high bouncing out to Mondesi at second his first time up. This pitch to Beltre is lifted high in the air, shallow center. Mondesi going back, backpedaling and calling for it. He's under it now. And he makes the short 2-hand grab to get Beltre. So Adrian retired on 1 pitch. We've got 2 men out here in the home 4th. And Rougned Odor coming up. 4th inning of our broadcast, brought to you by the Dallas-Fort Worth BMW Group. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. So here's Odor, who socked an 0-1 fastball into the upper porch in the 2nd inning for Rugi, his 19th home run this year. Just 1 shy of the team leader, Ian Desmond. This pitch is low from Ventura. 4-1. Odor took an 0 for yesterday, just 1 for 8 of the last 2 games before crunching that home run. The 1-0 pitch, check swing. Did he go? Here's an appeal. No, says third base umpire Pat Hoberg. Make it 2 balls and no strikes. Odor, however, batting .351 over the last 9 games, and he's now homered 3 times in the last 10. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball away that time to Odor. And that'll run the count here to 2-1. Infield playing Rougned to pull. The outfield a slight pull shift. And there's a curveball and a nasty one that comes across the outer portion of the plate for strike 2. So 2-2 to Odor. Gallo waiting on deck here with 2 men out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th of a 1-1 score, and now time call. And it will be the catcher, Drew Butera, calling for time, going out to have a quick chat here with Ventura. A run on 3 hits for the Royals, a run on 2 hits for the Rangers. This the opening game in this 4-game series. We will play again tomorrow night at 7:05. Saturday night, 7:35. Remember the pregame ceremonies for the induction of Michael Young into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame on Saturday. This pitch is low. And the count to Odor runs full. And then Sunday's final game of the series, 2:05 start on getaway day. Tomorrow, the scheduled starters, A.J. Griffin for the Rangers and Edinson Volquez will be going for the Royals. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. And Odor strikes out on a curve. 1-2-3 go the Rangers in the 4th. To the 5th we go here Royals 1, Rangers 1 on the Texas Rangers. Once again, here's Eric Nadeau.
All right, Matt, thanks. Hamels against Gordon, lefty to lefty, and the pitch is low. Well, after Roogie struck out, Ventura stared him down. Roogie laughed and blew him a kiss. Roogie had stared at Ventura a bit as he rounded the bases on his home run. It seems good-natured from what we can tell from up here. 1-0 pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes on Alex Gordon. Gordon, a line drive out to center his first time, in which Desmond made a nice catch coming in toward the infield. A shoestring variety. The 2-0 for Hamels, and Gordon takes a strike. It is 2-1. 1 run, 3 hits for the Royals, 1 run, 2 hits for the Rangers. Hamels has struck out 2 in each of the 4 innings tonight for a total of 8. Ventura has whiffed 3. Here's the 2-1, and that's just inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck for the Royals is Brett Eibner and then Drew Butera in the first half of the 5th inning. And the pitch is lined to right, a base hit. Fastball at 94 that Gordon turned around. So the lefty gets a hit off the lefty Hamels. 4 hits now for the Kansas Cities tonight. And Eibner is the hitter. Eibner, a strikeout victim, his first time up, extending his current slump to 0-4-19. The Royals are currently without Lorenzo Cain, their regular center fielder. That has created extra playing time for Eibner and for Paulo Orlando. Hamels the high set and the pitch, and that is high for a ball. Hamels with a good ground ball rate this year. It's been coming down, however, since early in the season when he had a 2-to-1 ground ball to fly ball rate. He has induced 13 double plays, though. Taking on the kid from the Woodlands High School outside of Houston. 1-0 to Eibner, and the pitch is inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now Roogie runs in from second base. Chirinos trots out from behind the plate. Orlando led off the second with a home run for Kansas City. Odor did the same for the Rangers. Hamels gave up a run in the first inning in Kansas City on Saturday, and then nothing more, and the run was unearned. Cuthbert had a double, and when the ball was misplayed by Mazzara, he went to third and scored on a ground out by Hosmer. And Hamels threw shutout ball into the 6th, got 1 out in the 6th, gave up a base hit, and was relieved by Tony Barnett. Here's the pitch, a swing and a foul off to the right side. That was a very hot, steamy night in Kansas City, a 94-degree game time temperature. It was 83 when we started tonight. The board right now in left center shows an 84-degree temperature. And the wind officially 7 miles an hour, but it sure looks a lot stronger than that. The flags are pretty much starched, blowing in from right and across to left. A throw to first, and back on the bag is Gordon. Hamels has really slowed things down now. High set by the southpaw, and the pitch. It is inside for a ball. And Gordon, the runner over at first base, was going back toward first as Hamels came to the plate. Gordon's not a guy who runs a lot, but he runs efficiently. He's 5 out of 5 on the base paths. So Hamels fell behind Gordon 3-1, gave up a single to him. Now he's behind Eibner 3-1. A tie ball game in the 5th inning. And here's the pitch, fouled back. And the count has gone full. The game brought to you by National Car Rental. Only National lets you bypass the counter and choose any car in the aisle. Go National, go like a pro. Game 1 of a 4-game series, and then the Rangers and the Royals are done with each other for the year. We'll see them in postseason or in surprise late next February. 3-2, payoff pitch, swung on, hit in the air to center field. On comes Desmond, can't get it. It dunks in for a hit. Gordon got a great read, and he'll easily go to third. That is outstanding base running by Alex Gordon. As Eibner with a soft line drive single, and there are runners at first and third, and nobody out. And Drew Butera is coming out. As Hamels in a bit of a spot here in a 1-1 tie. Butera, remember, in his career has been a very light hitter, a 196 hitter, but He's batting .308 coming into the game today in 65 at bats. A right-handed batter who has actually pitched twice this year for Kansas City in blowout games, throwing an inning and a third of shutout ball, allowing just one hit. He's pitched 5 times in his big league career. Ventura out of the University of Central Florida, originally a draft choice by the Mets. Rangers would concede a run to turn a double play, it appears. Gordon's at third, Eibner's at first. The pitch to Ventura, breaking ball inside for a ball. This is a time when Cole Hamels could really use a strikeout.
And Ventura last played Sunday in the game against the Rangers, so he didn't play at all in the series against the Angels, and he wouldn't be playing tonight. Salvador Perez didn't come down with flu-like symptoms.
Well, the Royals played a night game last night, then flew here, but it's only about an hour flight from Kansas City to DFW. Here's the 1-0, and the pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Ventura in his career 1 for 2 off Hamels coming in, but struck out his first time up today. 1 run, 5 hits now for Kansas City. 1 run on 2 hits for the Rangers as we play here in the top half of the 5th inning. The Royals 0 for 2 with men in scoring position. 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back. And the count is 2-1. The Rangers tonight have not had an at-bat with a man in scoring position. And the 2 at-bats for Kansas City came way back in the first. Remember how this Ranger club has struggled against sub-500 teams this year. It's the subject of a story about the Rangers today in the Wall Street Journal. 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball. The story makes the point that the Rangers, who are currently 15-19 against sub-500 teams, could become the first team ever in the divisional era of baseball to win a division despite a sub-500 record against sub-500 teams. So Hamels is behind his 3rd straight hitter, 3-1. Cole the high set, and here's the pitch. Swinging a foul at the plate, and it's 3-2.
Well, the other obvious flip side of that coin is if you're under 500 against teams that are below 500, and overall you're 14 games over 500, it means you're beating some pretty good teams.
Staggeringly good against the good teams. 43-24 is the Ranger record against teams at 500 or better. What sense does all that make? The Rangers also have the oddity right now of a record 14 games over 500 and a run differential of 0. Same number of runs scored as allowed for the year. So some odd things are happening here. And that winning percentage, by the way, against the 500 and better teams is .641. That would translate to 104 wins in a 162-game season. 104-58. 3-2, first and third, nobody out. Tie game, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Got him on a hard curve, big pitch by Cole Hamels. That's the 9th strikeout of the night for Cole. And here comes Mondesi, the number 9 batter. Mondesi hit a ground ball single up the middle, leading off the 3rd inning. And then took off for second base before a pitch was even thrown, was picked off, but wound up with a steal when Moreland's throw to second went awry. But when Mondesi tried to go to third, he was thrown out by Ruge. So he's now 3 for 8 in the big leagues. And as Matt mentioned earlier, he had a bunt single in Kansas City this week. And he is known as a good bunter. This is a guy who plays small ball. He had 24 steals in the minors this year in 25 tries. Gordon, the runner at third, Eibner at first in a 1-1 tie. Here's the set. Mondesi runs up to bunt and pulls the bat back. That was not a suicide squeeze. Looked like it would have been perhaps a safety squeeze. Perhaps Mondesi just trying to bunt for a hit and seeing if he could bring in Gordon, a guy who has pretty good speed, but not breakneck speed. Mondesi, who turned 21 yesterday, looks even younger than that. Kind of reminds you of the way Jurickson Profar looked when he first came to the big leagues. Maybe he looks even younger. A 1-ball count. Here's the set. And the pitch. And a ground ball slowly hit third. It is foul. Meanwhile, Hamels did a good job freezing the runner over at first base. Trying to make sure that Eibner doesn't get any kind of a head start that would make it easy for him to beat a possible force play at second base. So it's 1-1. Alcides Escobar on deck. Hamels to the plate, way inside and low. 2-1. And they almost hit him. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Hamels goes to the back of the mound and stomps with both feet on the Spike Master 2016. Gordon, a very short lead at third as Beltre's playing pretty close to the bag. Infield double play depth. Here comes a throw to first base. And back on the bag is Eibner. Hamels has slowed this game down almost to a halt right now. 2-1. Cole back to the set. And he comes home. And the pitch is grounded slowly to shortstop. Elvis charging his only play to first, just barely in time to get the fleet Mondesi. But he drives in a run as Gordon scores, and the Royals take a 2-1 lead. Well, the best thing Mondesi could do there was hit the ball softly. There was nothing Elvis could do other than charge hard and make that throw to first for the out. So Mondesi picks up his second big league RBI. The Royals have a 2-1 lead, and let's pause for station identification on the Rangers radio network.
This is the home of the Texas Rangers.
Hit in the air to left center field, hit well. He's still going back, and that ball is history.
On the Texas Rangers radio network.
So a runner at second now and 2 outs. And Escobar, the hitter, struck out looking in the first inning, struck out swinging in the third inning. And here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? He did. Now, last year the Royals struck out fewer times than any team in the American League. And walked the fewest as well. This year they've walked the fewest, but they have not struck out the fewest. In fact, they are 5th in fewest strikeouts. And that's one of the reasons their run production is down about a half a run. Their ERA is also up about a half a run. And the pitch is a breaking ball strike through the back door. Nice pitch by Hamels. And it's 0-2. This is looking like it could be a late night at the ballpark. We had a 35-minute rain delay. A ball game that is very, very slow in developing. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Hamels has struck out 2 in each of the 5 innings tonight. He's in double figures with 10. But the Royals get the go-ahead run. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And in the middle of the 5th, it's 2-1 Kansas City. On the Texas Rangers radio. Joey Gallo first up in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Royals, and the first pitch to Joey is fouled back. It goes skittering past the on-deck batter, Elvis Andrus. 2 runs on 5 hits for Kansas City. 1 run on 2 hits for the Rangers. Make it 0-2 now on Gallo. Elvis on deck, and then Moreland. And the 0-2 delivery, and that one bounces about 5 feet in front of the plate. It was an extremely short curveball. And the count is 1-2. You know, that's the pitch that Kyle Loesch was supposed to throw to Albert Pujols a couple of weeks ago in Kansas City.
Well, it ended up being over the plate.
Yeah. And over the fence. Well, that's what the manager means when he says bounce one. 1-2 pitch, he bounces another one, and it's 2-2. That looked like a changeup. Changeup comes in the upper 80s. Curveball in the mid-80s, and the fastball mid to upper 90s from Yordano of Ventura. Ventura last year 13-8 with a 4.08 ERA, so his ERA is up almost a run. Here's the 2-2 offering. Gallo takes another bouncing off-speed pitch, and the count is 3-2. So Ventura got ahead 0-2. Tried to get Gallo to chase 3 times on very short pitches. And now it's full to Joey. Joseph Nicholas Gallo. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with another changeup. So down goes Joey. Fourth strikeout for Ventura. And Morland coming up next. Morland fly to center his first time up. Folks, MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. It delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV for details. Here's Elvis, and that is low, ball one. Elvis, a grounder to short his first time up. Mitch Moreland on down. And here's the pitch. It is low. In case you joined us late today, Dario Alvarez is here, and he is active, the left-handed reliever acquired from the Atlanta Braves. He's wearing the number 39. That's Scott Feldman's old number, the way I see it. I was reminded today in the clubhouse that Tommy Field wore that number. Is that last year Tommy Field played for the Rangers?
2014, maybe? Was it last year? Now I got to look it up.
Here's a 2-0, and Elvis takes a strike, and the count is 2-1. I couldn't have told you what number he wore, I'll tell you that. Not if my life had depended on it. And the pitch is way inside. That almost hit Elvis, and the count is 3-1. That was last year.
Was it last year when we had Tommy?
Yeah. He started 12 games for the Rangers at second base. 3-1 in there for a strike, and the count is full. But the Rangers did not have a number 39 this year in spring training. Tough to give away Tommy Fields now. Payoff pitch. Elvis grounds one to third. Picked by Cuthbert to his left. Guns across in time, and corner to corner he gets his man. There are 2 outs. It's 2-1 in favor of the Royals. And Mitch Moreland is coming up now. Moreland flied out to center field his first time up. Twins lead the Orioles 6-2 tonight. They're in the top of the 9th inning in Minnesota. The Orioles 16 games above 500 at 58-42. The Orioles and Rangers with 58 wins. The Indians and Blue Jays with 57 wins at the start of the day. And the pitch is low and inside to Mitch. Cubs leading the White Sox 2-1, bottom of the 7th inning at Wrigley. The finale of that crazy 4-game series where the first 2 were played in the White Sox park and the last 2 in the Cubs park. 1-0, and here's the pitch. And there's a drive well hit left center field. Way back, Gordon at the wall. It is history as Mitch clears that 14-foot high wall and ties the game at 2. Home run number 15 for Mitch Moreland. An opposite field screamer. And we've got a new ball game.
Mitch connecting on a 1-0 fastball. Came in at 97. And a line drive that just did get out over the front wall, a little to the right of the out-of-town scoreboard. Didn't have quite enough to make it up into the seats, but enough to put 1 up on the board.
So 2 home runs allowed by Ventura today, and 16 for the year. He allowed 14 all of last year. So the home run rate way up for him. And here's a big rip and a miss by Chirinos. He was looking to untie the game with that cut. He wound up down on a knee, Beltre style. Robinson had a single to center his first time up. So it's 2 runs, 3 hits for the Rangers, 2 runs, 5 hits for Kansas City. And Chirinos takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Line smashed by Mitch Moreland off that 1-0 fastball at 96. And the pitch is inside. It is 2-1. Delano DeShields would be next. It's a 2-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on. And here's the pitch in there for a strike. So the Rangers now with 132 home runs and 134 allowed. Rangers and Royals at the top in terms of most home runs allowed, are really at the bottom. There's a swing and a foul off to the right and out of play. There are a couple of other teams in the same neighborhood, with the Angels having allowed 134, Seattle having permitted 131, and Minnesota 136. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, Chirino strikes out swinging. Or did he? No, got a piece of it. Boy, Ventura thought he had him, went into that little flourish he does after he strikes somebody out up on one leg. But Chirinos did spoil the pitch, and he's still alive with 2 outs and nobody on. It's a 2-2 count. This will be the 78th pitch for Ventura. And a dribbler hit foul off toward the Kansas City third base dugout. Hamels has thrown 85 pitches through 5 innings. He has struck out 10, 1 shy of his season high. Hamels with 2 strikeouts in each of the 5 innings tonight. His career high strikeout game, 15 in a game at Cincinnati in 2007. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Chirinos a swing and a miss. He struck him out and the inning's over, but the Rangers tie it on the Moreland homer. And as we go to the 6th, it's 2-2, Rangers and Royals on the Texas Rangers Radio Network. First up for Kansas City, he has doubled and struck out. First pitch from Cole Hamels is inside for a ball. Cuthbert, Hosmer, and Morales. We mentioned earlier that Hamels' biggest strikeout game came in 2007 against the Cincinnati Reds. He struck out 15 one April day in Cincinnati. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fouled off to the right. And my immediate thought is, big deal. It's a National League game. He probably struck out the pitcher at least a couple of times. But no. We have found the box score. The only man in the lineup he didn't strike out was the starting pitcher, Eric Milton, who only batted once and laid down a sacrifice bunt.
Go Terps.
After that, it was all pinch hitters in that spot. And the pitch is in for a strike. So Hamels struck out 15. He got Adam Dunn 3 times, Brandon Phillips 3 times, Jeff Conine twice, Alex Gonzalez twice. He struck out Josh Hamilton in that game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounces in at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He struck out Edwin Encarnacion in that game. He got Ryan Friel, David Ross. And then he got 1 pinch hitter on strikes, Juan Castro. It was a 4-1 Phillies win over the Reds. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Just a little high. Hamels held the pose there on a curve. Thought perhaps he had gotten Cuthbert for the second time on strikes. And the count is full. The rookie from Nicaragua waits. And the pitch from Hamels swung on and a chopper over the mound. Elvis to his left, behind the bag, sidearms to first in time for the out. Quick release there by Elvis to retire Cuthbert. And that brings up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer has struck out both times. Before he steps in, let's check in with Jared.
Well, guys, something really rare happened tonight across Major League Baseball. The Marlins lost at home with Jose Fernandez suffering the loss. It's just the second time in his career he suffered a home loss. He's now 26-2 when pitching at home, as Michael Walker and the Cardinals bested the Marlins 5-4. That means the Marlins and the Cardinals are all evened up record-wise for that final wild card spot in the National League.
Yeah, Cardinals are coming on. Lefty to Hosmer, and there's a curveball strike. Hosmer struck out looking at a fastball in the first, swinging at a curveball in the fourth.
I wasn't paying attention. Did Ichiro get any hits?
Jared didn't say. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ichiro went into the game lacking 3 for 3,000.
And he's now needing just 2. He went 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter.
Okay.
Thanks. 0-2 the count. And here comes Hamels. And a bouncing ball hit out to second. Rookie down for it. Over to first. There are 2 outs. And our new favorite team, the Sluggin' Padres, are off today with their home run streak at 25 games, having tied the National League record and just 2 games shy of the Rangers' Major League record of 27 straight games set back in 2002.
Who would you think during this string for the Padres, who would you think is leading them in home runs during the 25 games?
Just off the top of my head, I would guess Kemp.
Matt Kemp has the second most number of home runs.
Second most.
Is it that Schimpf guy?
Ryan Schimpf.
He used to play for the Mavericks, didn't he?
and the Seattle Supersonics.
That's Detlef.
Detlef Shrimp. There's a ground ball behind second to Roogie. He throws to first, and Morales is out. 1-2-3 inning for Cole Hamels without a strikeout. For the first time tonight, we're going to the bottom of the sixth. We're tied as Delano DeShields comes up for the third time today. Leading off the bottom of the sixth against Ventura. He's 0 for 2, and he swings and grounds one right at the shortstop, Escobar. Over to first, and the hustling Delano is out. 2 runs, 3 hits for Texas, 2 runs, 5 hits for Kansas City. Hey, you Padres fans, I got good news for you. When the Padres swing back into action tomorrow, looking to extend that home run streak, they'll be facing the Cincinnati Reds, the team that has allowed the most home runs in the major leagues, 170, with Brandon Finnegan on the mound. With all due respect to the TCUX, he's allowed the most home runs of any National League pitcher. Get ready, Detlef, or whatever that guy's first name is.
I think it's Ryan.
Right. Here's Mazzara, and he takes inside ball one. How do you spell that last name?
I think it's Schimpf, maybe? Is that right? Schimpf?
1-0 delivery, and that is inside for a ball.
A rather diminutive outfielder from LSU, I do believe, who started the season AAA for the Padres and got called up somewhere third week or so of June, maybe mid-June. And he had some good numbers for AAA El Paso. And
I thought you were going to tell me Adam Rosales.
No, he's on the list, though.
He's got 7 for the year. I know that. The pitch was inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Ventura's upset with himself. He snap catches the throwback.
Adam has 2 home runs during this streak.
Glad to see him back in the big leagues. What a great guy. 3-0 pitch. And Maz takes it right down the middle, 3-1 on the big chill.
Which is just 1 home run fewer than Will Myers, who, of course, is having an outstanding year. Myers with 3 home runs during the streak, but Schimpf with 9. 9. And quite obviously all this month.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Matt Kemp is the only Padre in the top 10 in the league in home runs. With 23, he is 7. Or has he changed his name to Kemp?
No, it's just Kemp. So Schimpf has 9, Kemp has 7, and third on the list during this string for the Padres, the former Ranger farmhand, Jan Hervis Solarte.
All right. Love Jan Hervis, too. With a swing and a roller out short. Escobar toward the middle, perfectly placed, throws out Maz. There are 2 outs in the 6th. We're tied at 2. The Rangers with home runs tonight by Odor and Moreland. The Royals a home run by Orlando and an infield out to score a run by Mondesi. Each team scored in the 2nd inning and in the 5th inning as the Rangers answered back both times. Now Desmond has walked and he has grounded out to short. In case you heard the walk-up music they just played, it's by a local group called A-OK, and they will be here tomorrow and they will perform that song, which is called Kings of Summer, right after the game before the fireworks start. And Desmond takes a strike. That's the first performance of its kind here. Desmond with a swing and a miss. It is 0-2. That's A-OK, and in case you want to look him up on iTunes or Spotify, it's actually spelled out A-Y-O-K-A-Y, I think. It's not just the letters A-O-K. If you do that, you get a completely different group. 0-2 the count, and Desmond calls time and steps out.
First of its kind being something being played between the game and the fireworks show.
And first of its kind, a walk-up music group.
Okay.
Playing a guy's walk-up song.
Gotcha.
There's a swing and a chopper out to second base. Mondesi over to first. Both pitchers with 1, 2, 3 innings, all on grounders in the 6th. And we now head to the 7th, tied 2-2. Rangers and Royals on the Rangers Radio Network. 85 pitches. Eric Nadel, Matt Hicks, and Jared Sandler with you. And here's Matt.
All right, thank you very much. Paulo Orlando, who was the first to homer tonight, stands in, and he takes a pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. And then rolls his head in disgust at the call by Jerry Meals here, our plate umpire. Steps out, actually. Orlando with that well-struck home run to straightaway left in the 2nd inning. Then he struck out in the 4th, so Orlando 1 for 2. And a curveball here, check swing. Did he go? An appeal, and first base umpire Ron Culpa says no swing. So that squares the count to a ball and a strike. There is activity in the Ranger bullpen. Right-hander Tony Barnett getting loose. Hamels into the wind, and here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it's high. And so make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Gordon on deck, and then Eibner behind him. 5, 6, and 7 in the order here for the Royals. I guess the 6th inning was officially the lull portion of our broadcast tonight, at least in terms of the game. 6 batters, 6 outs, all on ground ball. Swing and a miss here, and the count to Orlando, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if we've already hit the lull and it's a 2-2 ball game in the 7th, there's some excitement that lies straight ahead. Pay attention. Hamels about to throw his 100th pitch. And here it is. 2-2 fastball comes in high. So make it a full count here to Paulo Orlando. Hit safely now in 4 straight. And in fact, he's batting right around 400 over the course of his last 12 games. As his season's average up to 324. He awaits the 3-2 here from Cole, which is down and in ball 4. So Orlando draws the leadoff walk. And for Cole Hamels, that's the first free pass he's doled out here. 1 walk versus 10 strikeouts. And Orlando trots down to first, so he's on here for Alex Gordon. Gordon, who singled to right his last time up, 1 for 2. Gordon could easily be 2 for 2 if not for that sliding grab in center field by Ian Desmond to take a base hit away from Gordon. That was back in the 2nd. The set by Hamels. And the pitch is inside, almost hits Gordon. He backs out of the way. Ball 1 here to Gordon. 7th inning of our broadcast brought to you by Papa John's. 2-2 our score. Royals getting the home run from Orlando in the 2nd, and then a ground ball out RBI from Mondesi in the 5th. Rangers with a pair of solo home runs. Rougned Odor in the 2nd, Mitch Moreland in the 5th. A long look to first, and now the 1-0. A swing and a drive down the right field line. This one hooking, though, and it is a foul ball. It looked like just about home run distance down the line there, but it hooks foul and up into the seats. Well up into those angled seats. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Gordon. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to Gordon. Orlando, who runs well, an average lead from first, but Hamels staring right at him. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. It's low. Throw down to second base is not in time. A 1-hop throw taken in front of the bag by Elvis. So Orlando has his 7th steal. And the count to Gordon now, 2 balls and 1 strike. And let's check in once again with Jared Sandler. A little news on the trade front.
Yeah, an all-star's just been traded. Eduardo Nunez is going from the Minnesota Twins to the San Francisco Giants for minor leaguer Adalberto Mejia. That's according to Lavelle Neal, who covers the Twins. So Eduardo Nunez, the Giants were in need of a utility infielder, and not only did they get one, they got an all-star version of one.
Really good guy. I mean, it's a guy who will contribute. That Giants team still, like a lot of clubs, fighting injuries. Number of regulars still out, the 2-1. Breaking ball in for a strike. And the count 2-2.
They gave up their number 10 prospect, according to Baseball America, left-handed pitcher Adalberto Mejia, who is 23 years old, from the Dominican.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Gordon. Nobody out here in the 7th in this tie ball game. And the 2-2 pitch, low and in. So a full count here to the left-handed hitting Gordon, with the right-handed hitting Brett Eibner on deck. Hamels now at 106 pitches. Most he's thrown in a game this season, 113. That was at Detroit back in early May. Good enough to get him through 7 innings on that occasion. The 3-2 here. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck it out. So Gordon is out on strikes. Make that 11 punch outs now for Cole Hamels tonight. That will equal his season best, 11 strikeouts against the Astros down in Houston on May the 22nd. So 1 on, 1 out. And Chirinos was out to have a quick word with Hamels, and now Elvis comes in for a chat. Those two chatting a few feet behind the mound as Brett Eibner steps to the plate. Eibner 1 for 2. He struck out in the second, but then singled and was stranded in the fifth. 2-2 here in the opening game of this 4-game series. Royals with 5 hits, Rangers with 3 hits. Hamels out of the stretch, a long look back to Orlando, and now the pitch. Swing, and there's a drive out into left field, and DeShields is there. He'll back up a step or two, and he makes the grab on that hard hit line drive. Eibner retired for the second out in the inning. So 2 away, and that brings up Drew Butera, the catcher, who has struck out twice tonight against Hamels, swinging both times in the second and then again in the fifth. Butera again, who doesn't get a whole lot of playing time when you're playing behind Salvador Perez, but Perez scratched because of exhibiting some flu-like symptoms today. He was originally in the starting line. But Butera with some big hits in each of his last 2 ball games. 3 for 5 in his last 2 games with a couple of doubles. Coming in, batting over 300. First pitch here to Butera. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Butera for the year, just 12 at-bats against left-handed pitching coming in. And the Ranger faithful starting to make some noise here in support of Hamels and company. Next pitch is lined to third, caught by Beltre. Line smash, and Beltre reacts quickly, catches it near his left ear for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits. Beltre 0 for 2. He has bounced to second and pops to second and gets out of the way of a pitch here that's low and in for ball 1. So Beltre, Odor, and Gallo here in the 7th. The crowd in excess of 36,000 tonight, and they're making noise here in the 7th. A 1-0 pitch, swing, and a high fly ball out into center field, but Orlando is there. He'll drift in a few steps, reach up and make the catch. A sure two-handed grab to retire Beltre. 1 down here in the 7th inning. And speaking of Adrian Beltre, fans who come out to the game here on Sunday, August the 14th, will be treated to an Adrian Beltre removable helmet bobblehead, courtesy of Nitto Tire. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to come out to see the Rangers take on the Tigers to collect this one-of-a-kind bobblehead. You can find your tickets at TexasRangers.com. And remember, remove Beltre's helmet at your own risk. Here's Rougned Odor, and he takes a fastball high in the zone for strike 1.
It'd be something if he hits a walk-off that night and the whole crowd takes out the bobblehead and pulls the helmet off.
Here's the 0-1. That pitch comes in low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, Adrian did hit a walk-off home run for the Rangers' lone win in the series against Oakland on Monday. Adrian also that evening his first 4-hit game of the season. Here's the 1-1 bounce deep in the hole at short. Backhanded by Escobar. Jump, 1-hop throw to first, not in time. Rugi goes across the bag head first and is called safe by Ron Culpa. So Odor legging out an infield hit. For him, his second hit. His first, of course, went a long way into the upper porch for a home run. Ned Yost contemplating whether or not they want to challenge this call at first as he looks at the chain of command here for their video review. And indeed, Ned Yost would like to have this looked at back at the Chelsea Market in New York City.
A similar play in Kansas City. Hosmer diving into first base against the Rangers was initially ruled safe, but then out on the video review. This is a new facet of Rugi's game. I don't remember him diving into head first before. Managers and coaches don't like it at all. They don't think you get there any faster and you're subject to injury. Most believe the only reason to do it is if you're about to be tagged out by a first baseman coming off the base.
Well, we've just seen 2 replay angles that tell us absolutely nothing. Remember, the call on the field is safe, so you would have to have something that is pretty clear to dispute the safe call. Tell you what, Hosmer, though, displaying his Gold Glove skills down to a knee. Makes a nice pick while extending that right arm toward home plate.
That's a heck of a play by Escobar, having to go to his right, make the Jeter-like jump throw, and get enough on the ball. And the question here again is, when does it actually hit the back of the mitt? It's not when it disappears on the picture. It actually has to hit the leather, and it's that close.
You know, Rugi had both arms outstretched, and his right arm was actually a little bit ahead of the left arm, but the right arm was by the bag, and the left arm was on the bag, and the call here is out. So the Royals asking for the video review, and back in New York City, they reversed the call, and so credit and assist to Escobar. The put out to Hosmer here. No hit for Odor. There are 2 men out now in the 7th inning.
Above average play on both ends. That's one of those plays that gets you up there in runs saved, and the Royals are 3rd in the league in doing that, with both Hosmer and Escobar above average. Escobar, of course, a Gold Glove winner at short, and Hosmer a 3-time Gold Glove winner.
So with the overturn of the call there now, Ventura has retired 6 in a row. He goes up against Joey Gallo, who spins this one foul into the seats on the third base side. 4 strike 1. Gallo is struck out twice tonight. Joey got the start in the game here on Tuesday. Went 1 for 4 with that opposite field home run. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. One thing that Joey's done both Tuesday and again today, each one of his plate appearances have been somewhat lengthy. He saw 22 pitches in 4 plate appearances Tuesday, and 6 pitches in each of his first 2 plate appearances tonight. Fastball here comes in high, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gallo, who played 70 games at AAA Round Rock this year, had 19 home runs, 47 knocked in. Swings here and pops it up into shallow left. Gordon on the move coming in, slows, stops, and then catches it for the final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rangers go in order. We'll move along to the 8th. It's still Royals and Rangers 2-2 on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
How do you know when the moment is right?
It's the 8th inning of a 2-2 tie-in. Cole Hamels at 110 pitches is back on the mound. His first pitch to Raul Mondesi Jr., a strike. Mondesi singled and driven in a run with an infield out. And the pitch to the switch hitter batting right is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamels in familiar territory. He's been over 100 pitches many times this year. He's thrown as many as 113 in the game. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. Keep in mind, however, he does not have extra rest tonight, but will have an extra day of rest next time he goes to the mound, because the Rangers have a day off Monday, and he'll pitch with 1 extra day of rest in Baltimore. There is action behind him in the bullpen. And the 1-2 delivery, swing and a miss on a curve in the dirt. And down goes Mondesi. That's strikeout number 12 for Cole Hamels. We go to the top of the order for Escobar, who has a hat trick going. He has fanned all 3 times. Tony Barnett, the right-hander up in the Rangers bullpen.
Second time warming up for him tonight.
And it looks like Jake Diekman's up. Jeff Bannister had said before the game that he probably wouldn't use Diekman tonight due to a very heavy recent workload. Diekman having pitched 3 times in the last 4 days and having warmed up the other day. First pitch to Escobar is outside, 4-1. So a new strikeout high for this season by Hamels at 12. 3 shy of his all-time high. It's a 1-ball count on Escobar with Cuthbert next. We're tied at 2, and it's fouled back to the screen. The 8th inning brought to you by your Dallas-Fort Worth Lexus dealers. The Royals have not had any bullpen action tonight until now behind Yordano Ventura. Ventura's been brilliant. He's at 96 pitches. The 1-1 from Hamels, fouled off, back to the screen again, and the count is 1-2. The Rangers have the bottom 3 in the order coming up in their half of the 8th. Andrews, Moreland, and Chirinos. Remember, Jurickson Profar is available to pinch hit tonight. He's on the bench. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Escobar. Here's the pitch. Swung on and the dribbler hit foul on the third base side. So he stays alive at the plate. Again, in case you're wondering and weren't listening earlier, the Astros have the night off. So the Rangers will either gain a half a game or lose a half game to the Stros in the standings tonight. The pitch swung on, hit softly in the air to second, right at Ruby. He grabs that humpback liner just above the shoot tops. And Escobar is retired for the 4th time tonight. 2 outs here in the 8th inning and a 2-2 tie. And here's Cuthbert, who has doubled, struck out, and grounded to short. Hamels went 8 innings at Houston on May the 22nd in a 9-2 win. He went 8 innings at Wrigley in a 4-1 win on July the 17th. Looking to go 8 for the 3rd time this season. He can get the final out here. He has had a season high 119 pitches. Almost a year ago to the day, he threw that no-hitter at Wrigley Field. There's a swing and a line drive to right field. That's a base hit for Cuthbert. 6th hit for Kansas City in the ballgame. Hosmer's the batter, and let's see if Jeff Bannister goes to the lefty Diekman here or stays with the lefty Hamels in a 2-2 tie. Cuthbert now with 2 of the 6 hits for Kansas City tonight. And Hamels is going to stay out there. Well, this tells you something about Cole Hamels. He wants to be out there. The set. And a throw to first base, and back on the bag is Cuthbert. And Hamels threw 129 pitches last year in his no-hitter at Wrigley. He struck out 13 and walked 2 in that ball. The set by Cole and the pitch to Hosmer, and a curve is way inside ball 1. Well, that's the worst curveball that Hamels has thrown tonight, an indication maybe that he's just about out of gas. And that ball didn't break at all, almost hit Hosmer. You do not want to hang on to this guy. Hosmer's never had a hit off Cole. He's 0 for 6 off him. Ranger outfield very deep. And the pitch is a curve outside. Check swing. He did not go around, and it's 2-0. The Shields just 2 strikes from the warning track and left. Mazzara a little bit closer in and right. Desmond dead center field indeed. It's a 2-0 count. Kendrys Morales, the switch hitter, is on deck. Here's the pitch to Hosmer. A swing and a bouncing ball past the mound to Ruby. He charges, sets, throws, gets him at first base. And Hamels has completed 8. What a job by Cole Hamels tonight. In the middle of the 8th, it's a 2-2 tie. Rangers and Royals on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
This is the best time of year. The weather is warm.
The bottom of the 8th of a 2-2 tie. What a ball game tonight, and what a job by Cole Hamels. 123 pitches over 8 innings. Elvis swings and fouls one off to the right. Out of play. He has grounded out twice this evening. Sam Dyson's up in the bullpen. The closer generally works in a tie game at home in the 9th. See if the Rangers can untie it here in the 8th with Moreland on deck and then Chirinos. And the pitch almost hits him. Shoulder high fastball at 95. Evens the count at 1-1. They are not playing no doubles in the outfield. And on the infield, the third baseman, Cuthbert, is in his normal position. He is not guarding the line. 1-1. Elvis a swing and a miss out in front of a breaking ball. And the count is 1-2. The Royals bullpen is ready.
We got Kelvin Herrera warming up out there.
All-star fireball. 1-2 the count on Andrews. And here's the pitch. Inside. Almost crushed him. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cubs over the White Sox in the 9th inning at Wrigley. Cubs leading 3-1 now. Chapman on trying for a 4-out save. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Escobar to his left, throws on the run and gets his man. There's one away, tied at 2. And Mitch Moreland is coming up next. The scoreboard update brought to you by Capital One Bank. Hey fans, don't forget, this Saturday, the 4-in-1 bobblehead to be given away. The franchise 4 quad bobblehead given away courtesy of Medical Center Arlington to the first 15,000 fans 14 and older. That's after the induction ceremony honoring Michael Young as the newest member of the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. First pitch will be at 7:35. Get there early and enjoy the big doings. Pitch to Mitch is high. Mitch a fly ball to center in the second, then an opposite field line drive home run over the out-of-town scoreboard in the 5th. That tied the game 2-2, and nobody has scored since. Chirinos on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. Ricocheted off the mask, I believe. Drew Butera tells the umpire he's okay. As Herrera continues to blaze away out in the bullpen. We expect a very big crowd Saturday, so don't wait. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. One ball, one strike. Here comes Ventura, and Mitch fouls it away at the plate. So now it is 1-2. Hey fans, Burger King has hot dogs, flame grilled and made with 100% beef. Pick up a grilled dog today at participating Burger King restaurants. Flame grilling hot dogs since 2016. 1-2, the count on Mitch. And here it comes. It bounces in at the plate. Breaking ball, and the count is 2-2. Tomorrow night, A.J. Griffin for the Rangers. The right-hander 3-1 with a 4.06 ERA against Edinson Volquez, the former Ranger, who is 8-8 with a 4.56 earned run average. Fireworks after the game brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Morland takes, it's outside, a let-up. The count has gone full. Twins beat the Orioles tonight 6-2 in Minnesota. Red Sox and Angels in the top of the 3rd in Anaheim scores. And right here a 2-2 tie. Full count on Mitch with 1 out in the Ranger 8th. He calls time and steps out on Ventura, who's about to throw his 108th pitch of the evening. Right-hander pushes off, comes home. Moreland swings. It's a high drive to deep left center field. That's way back, and that ball is history. Mitch Moreland has untied the game with a drive into the visitors' bullpen. Globe Life Park is on its feet. It's 3-2 Texas.
Mitch looked like he got a hold of a 3-2 curveball, driving it the other way. And for Mitch Moreland, his first multi-homer game since June the 10th in Seattle.
An amazing night for the Rangers. They have 4 hits, 3 of them homers, 2 by Mitch, who now has 16 for the year. And Robinson Chirinos takes a strike. Denizia singled and struck out. Well, that was a high-hanging breaking ball, it appeared. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. So Mitch Moreland gives the Rangers the lead. The Royals in the 9th have Morales, Orlando, and Gordon do, no doubt, against Sam Dyson. The 0-2. Chirinos strikes out swinging on a high fastball for the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring up the Lino to Shields.
But 5 home runs for Mitch now in the last 10 ball games.
Well, Butera going out to the mound as Rangers announcing Jurickson Profar as a pinch hitter here for Delano to Shields. Remember, the Rangers have Ryan Rua on the bench today to come on defensively in left. So Profar is going to hit for DeShields. DeShields was 0 for 3 at the plate, lined out to right, and grounded out twice. So Jurickson, who's been a good pinch hitter, comes up here. 3 for 6 in a pinch hit roll. hitting .296 overall with 4 homers, 14 RBIs. Switch hitter batting left. Mazzara on deck, 2 outs, nobody on. 3-2 Texas, and the pitch slants inside. So all 3 Ranger runs coming on solo home runs. 1 by Odor, 2 by Moreland. The lone single for the Rangers tonight came off the bat of Chirinos. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And there's a skimmer out to second base. Mondesi over to first. The sides retired, and we've completed 8. It's the Rangers 3 and the Royals 2. First lead of the night for the Rangers on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
Geico has been saving people money and providing great service on car insurance for over 75.
Closer, 20 out of 22 in save opportunities. He's 1-2 with a .253 ERA. This is his 50th appearance of the year. Morales 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice and flied out. Dyson always from the stretch. Works in short sleeves. And the pitch outside for ball 1. 3 infielders on the right side for Morales, a very slow runner. And the outfield playing very deep in no doubles alignment. The 1-0 offering. That's low for a ball, and the count is 2-0. Paulo Orlando on deck. And then Alex Gordon. Dyson last pitched on Tuesday, gave up a run in 1 inning against the Oakland A's. He pitched on back-to-back days in Kansas City, finishing up a couple of wins over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. 2-0 pitch is bounded foul past first base. On Saturday, he had a very wild ride in a no-save situation. Gave up 2 walks and a hit, but no runs in 2/3 of an inning. He did walk a man with the bases loaded, though. And then notched the save on Sunday with a 1-inning shutout performance, giving up 2 hits. And the pitch is outside. It's 3-1. So he has been by no means automatic of late. 3-1 the count on Kendrys. And here's the pitch. A grounder foul. Back to the first base side. It's a full count. Dyson throwing a changeup there. There's a fastball, a changeup, and a slider. Three and 2. And the crowd of 36,008 getting behind Sam Dyson. The set, the payoff pitch. He walked it. Morales is on. With the Rangers leading by a run, he will no doubt be lifted for a pinch runner. And the Royals only have 2 fully healthy players on their bench. They play with a 3-man bench at 13 pitchers. And Salvador Perez is ill. But they do have Gerard Dyson available to run, and he can fly. 13 steals for Dyson this year. He's on as the pinch runner for Kendrys Morales. So it's Dyson at first and Dyson pitching. One Dyson runs very well. The other Dyson is not the greatest in holding runners. He is extremely good, however, at throwing double play balls. He's thrown 8 of them this year. The pitch to Orlando, a righty, is inside for ball 1. Beltre plays in at third against the possible bunt. Orlando has very good speed. He homered in the second inning to open the scoring. Since then, he has struck out and walked. 3 runs, 4 hits for Texas, 2 runs, 6 hits for Kansas City. Lob over to first base, and Gerard Dyson is back. Boy, Cole Hamels certainly deserves a victory for what he did tonight, extending himself to 123 pitches and 8 strong innings. He's the only Ranger starting pitcher to win a game since the 26th of June. He's won 3 times, has a shot at 4 now. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken. The throw to second, high and into center field. He was backed up, fortunately, by Rougned Odor. So there will be no further advancement by Dyson. His ball really got away from Chirinos. Ryan Rua, by the way, as expected, is in the game now in left field. But the Royals, with nobody out, have the tying run at second base as a result of a walk and a steal. And Chirinos really didn't have a chance there, even if the throw had been on the bag. he wouldn't have gotten them. But Rookie makes a great play there, backing up the play and catching that throw in the air in short center field. Rangers still looking for the bunt, and now Dyson's behind them to count 2-0. It's a 2-0 count, and the pitch is a strike over the inside corner.
Quite a demonstrative display there by Orlando, and he's done that before tonight in disagreeing with the call. Quite flamboyant with his actions.
The corners are up. It's a 2-1 count. A pitch to Orlando. A swing and a ground ball. Slowly hit the short. The runner has to hold. Elvis fires to first for the out. Gerard Dyson stays at second. There's one away. That's a big out with Orlando failing to get that runner over. And here's Alex Gordon. Gordon has lined out to center. He has singled and he has struck out. And slowly walking out to the mound is Robinson Chirinos. Elvis in from shortstop as well. Brett Eibner is on deck, a right-handed batter. And with Dyson in the game as a pinch runner, the Royals do not have a left-handed pinch hitter available. Dyson would have been the guy had he not been used in the pinch running situation. And the lefties are hitting over 280 against Dyson this year. Righties about 210. So the lefty Gordon in there, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 3-2, the Rangers are leading. Gordon 0 for 1 in his career against Dyson. The set. A look at second and the pitch, and Gordon fouls it off to the left and out of play. 1-1. A long look in by Dyson, working very deliberately, protecting a 1-run lead. Runner at second, 1 out. There goes the runner. The pitch is swung on, grounded to second. Rookie's got it, throws to first, 2 outs. And Gerard Dyson now at third. He had third base stolen. It appeared from here if Gordon had taken the pitch or missed the pitch. But Gordon got a pitch he liked, hit it hard, but on the ground and right at Rookie. So now there are 2 outs. The tying runs at third base, and Brett Eibner is the batter. He broke out of an 0 for 19 slump with a single in the 5th. He is 1 for 3, and the crowd is rising here at Globe Life Park with the Rangers leading 3-2.
I don't think there's any question but that Dyson had that bag stolen had Gordon not made contact.
So 2 outs and the tying run at third. The set by Dyson. And the pitch in there for a strike. Dyson finally gets ahead of the hitter with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Drew Butera, the catcher, is on deck. The Rangers have a couple of open bases with which to work. Dyson ready at 0-1. Here's the pitch to Eibner. A swing and a slow ground ball left side. Charged by Elvis. He throws to first. He got him, and the Rangers have won it. What a victory tonight for Cole Hamels and the Rangers with a save from Sam Dyson, 2 home runs from Mitch Moreland, and 1 from Rougned Odor. Rangers 3, Royals 2. Back with the totals, the happy totals after this on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
This is the best time of year. The weather is warming up. The Rangers are playing, so why not celebrate with a Captain and Cola? Captain and Cola go together like baseball and hot dogs, like the Texas Rangers and awkward kiss cam moments. And a big hello to my mom, who won't ever come to a Rangers game with me again. Some combinations work better than others. This weekend, fall in love with a Captain and Cola. Drink responsibly. Captain's Orders. Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum. Caribbean rum with spices and other natural flavors. 35% alcohol by volume. 2016. Captain Morgan Rum Company, Norwalk, Connecticut. Hey, Rangers fans, now is your shot to win playing one-day fantasy baseball at DraftKings.com, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner.